Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. I'm Elisa. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just did a split and we got Justice and we got the High Priestess. So maybe Justice coming for someone who's sort of tapped in, which is interesting because there has been this whole theme going on about Justice coming for the people who are tapped in, who've done the inner work and come into alignment with the higher power and their higher selves. And that reading is called Justice for the Truth Tribe, something like that. So it's interesting that that comes up again, because there's been all this back and forth, you know, where it seemed like progress, there was like this stalemate for several weeks, and then it seemed like justice or progress was starting to happen, and then now it seems like there's like more drama emerging, and like it's like there's this unspoken scorecard almost. And so it's just sort of like there's the Truth Tribe, who it's sort of like the writing is on the wall that they're kind of in alignment with the way things are moving forward. And then there's this other camp of folks that aren't in alignment with that right now, in the last few days, there's been all this story about a lot of drama and eruptions happening around that, and like staying above the fray and like trying to not engage the drama. But at the end of the day, there's a new stability that is emerging, reuniting with your tribe. And, you know, there's judgment that's happening about this and a new beginning. So I think this is the underlying energy, but it's almost like an unspoken energy. So it's kind of like, yeah, like it's kind of clear to everyone what the obvious is. Like there's a reading about the obvious, but there's maybe not a universal acceptance about that outcome right now. Because yeah, we have this, we have like like not wanting to accept, and then we have Temperance, of like trying to bring this resistance into balance. Because at the end of the day, like the universe has spoken. I think that's a reading too. I'm gonna run out of reading links, so I may or may not link it, but you know, that doesn't mean that there's acceptance. I mean, there's this whole thing, like there were peace talks, and it was like almost like we're going to move forward, and you know, but then there was like, you know, the truth came out about all the deaths and all the people in Buka and all the war crimes, and so now it's like everything broke down after that, because it's like there's not wanting to accept the truth on the ground. Okay, but you know, this is on the, you know, we have the Hunter. So, you know, if you are in alignment and you've been following the guidance, you are going to catch your prey, you know, your destiny. I don't like the prey thing because it's like not very vegan, but it's almost like you're gonna manifest the outcome that you have been working on. You know, it's going to come to fruition. So like there's nothing that needs to be done except work on yourself, because when you release your intention into the universe, it's going to hit its mark. So this is like really not a time of action, because sort of the outcome in a sense has already been decided. It's just, there's just not a universal acceptance about it. So this is like really a good moment to take some time for yourself and just kind of chill out, you know. We have death and we have the Queen of Swords. So there's change, and we're going to have boundaries, you know, because maybe not everyone's going to be happy about that change, but it's going to happen whether or not they like it or not, you know. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to the Intuitive Night Goddess. I'm going to pick some. I've been doing a lot more readings again because the energy is also intense again, but like, stuff's happening. It's happening. It's not happening super fast, but it's happening. Okay, so we have 10 of Cups. So this is happiness, abundance, fulfillment, like everything. It's like at the bottom of the deck. And it's coming, but there's a blockage. Like there is some dissonance, like not everyone's in alignment with that outcome. And so this is going to cause like a total breakdown of the prevailing power structure, because that might be what is blocking it. And that's ultimately going to lead to heartbreak. And there's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. Because, yeah, like I said, there's kind of like these two camps, like the alignment camp, the truth tribe, and then the folks that are not in alignment. And that is kind of the foundation of all the tension. But according to this reading, things are moving forward slowly but surely. It's like a very like steady drum beat. And yeah, it's like it's a really good moment to like focus on your own stuff, focus on building your own foundation, because ultimately this period is going to end. So, you know, it's just like strengthening your foundation is wise, because things are moving forward. They're not moving forward quick, but they are moving forward, and they are moving forward in a sustainable way. So, you know, we do have some evidence of this movement. There's tangible evidence being presented that this era is ending. There's a new era emerging, and there's a new opportunity that is also coming online, and that is like, I think, the harbinger of change. So is this new opportunity that's coming to the people with the solid foundation who are in alignment with the truth. And yeah, it's happening in slow motion, but it is happening. And ultimately things are going to change, you know, because things always change. I mean, that's the one thing you can count on in life. Okay, so it's a time for boundaries. Have a protective bubble, protect your energy, and be really conscious about what you allow in your bubble and who and what energy you allow, because this is really important. Like, we don't want to just keep carrying the same conflict forward. We've done all this work. There's been all this revolution to change the prevailing power structure, and so it's like really important to be intentional about sort of like who we allow into our influence, you know, resilience and the path. So it's just like, it's like the truth tribe who've like gone through all the work and like carried the burdens and done all the, that are actually carrying the value. There's going to be a path that's going to emerge. And it's interesting because like something that just came to me, like I feel like there's this larger revolution that's happening economically worldwide, where there's been this whole thing where like there's like corruption and like people who have been benefiting from like the work of the people who are actually on the ground doing things, you know, but those people haven't been benefiting from that, you know. I mean, forever in the US, like there's this whole thing about, you know, business and like the people who do the heavy lifting and do all the work, like those aren't necessarily the people that are rewarded by the system, you know. And there's sort of like a powerful urge to change the power structure and how we are rewarded and who is rewarded and for what, you know. And I think it's like oftentimes the people who like do all the heavy lifting and do all the work, and you know, like those people really get kind of screwed by the sort of like narcissists who are like more concerned about like winning and like making all the money. And like, you know, it's like when you're doing all the work, like you can get preoccupied with that, and so it's easy to be taken advantage of. I mean, look at this person that's carrying this huge burden. And so it's just sort of like there's this shift happening where finally, like, these are the people that are going to survive the revolution, you know? And so finally, these people are the ones that are maybe getting what's due to them, you know? Like, the path is emerging, and then maybe they're drawing boundaries around themselves so that they aren't getting taken advantage of, and that story isn't going to be carried forward. So I don't even know where that whole thing came from at the end, but I hope it's true.